What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Average Bob. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the yesterday's loss of the Giants blowing another inexcusable lead in the fourth quarter, 24-20 in Chicago. This was a game too that had all of the makings of a phenomenal Jaxson Dart performance. He had the two rushing touchdowns. He had almost 250 yards passing. But eventually, like what I have been saying on this channel, it wasn't even a big hit that really took him out of this one. I think it was just a body blow theory of week in and week out. He's taking way too many hits. I think Ryan Dunleavy, a beat reporter, posted, since he started in week 4, he's second in the NFL behind Justin Herbert in being hit this season. And that was with him missing the first 3 games or not playing in the first 3 games. I do got to give credit, as I was watching this, to give credit to, and Theo Johnson had another, solid performance as well, made some big catches. So are we starting to see Theo Johnson's coming out party? I have been very harsh on him, and I think we all kind of have, right? And deservedly so. But I think in this game, he really had one of his best performances. And he had great blocking on the Singletary play. We'll talk a little bit later on. Singletary 41-yard catch, but Theo did a really good job. Very impressive. 77 receptions for 75 yards with a long of 25 on 8 targets. So pretty efficient, which we haven't really seen from him. And what I want to give credit to is Caleb Williams. I thought played phenomenal in this game. Is a guy I want to give respect to him because he's a guy who gets a ton of flack throughout his career so far. And there are guys on this Bears team dropping balls wide open on what would be big plays in this game. And the Giants also had Caleb Williams dead to rights probably 4 or 5 times in this one, and he just is able to escape it. And the Giants had 2 sacks, but both of them were negated by poor pass interferences or whatever defensive penalties, and wipe those off the boards. But besides that, it's a clean day for Caleb Williams. And this is one that they made fun of the Giants for, where all 3 guys are standing kind of looking at each other. Illuminor was a little bit dinged up coming into this one, and I still see a lot of people speaking about how the Giants need to re-sign Illuminor, and I do think he does have value. But sometimes there's just head-scratching plays, and there wasn't one head-scratching play in this game, but 2. And I'm not quite sure where he's looking, but it's not right. And, sometimes you have to take the most dangerous man, and clearly someone coming off the edge when Theo's releasing and you have help inside, you kind of have to just, take him. Again, and another hit on your quarterback. And Dart was sacked twice, so that was one of them. And I might not slow down and go through a lot of stuff in detail as we normally do on this show, just because of the state of the Giants, and I want to be conducive or whatever, appreciative of your guys' time, because this team is 2-8, and there will be a lot of turnover, I believe. Either coming. You can't really change the personnel too much throughout the season, but you'll see guys start to make business decisions and start checking out more that it's really over. And especially if Jaxson Dart can't play. God, he is just so good. But this was an interesting play from Darius Slayton because he drops so many, I don't want to say easy ones, but huge plays that need to be made. The Saints game, last weekend, he drops one in the end zone, and then he just goes up and makes a ridiculous one-handed grab. Again, the Giants know all too well about making phenomenal one-handed grabs, but also just losing the game. Shout out to Odell. I mean, these are phenomenal throws by Dart. He's getting someone tossed into his lap. And then you're also looking oh man, is Darius Slayton back at 4 receptions for 83 yards with a long of 38? And then it just becomes, he goes down with a hammy. So he's just someone who also can't be dependent on it making, $13 million a year or whatever he's making. He's just so good. I can't figure out these plays though. Is it worth running? I mean, you score a touchdown, right? And this is the way he plays. He said he's not going to change how he plays, but is it worth using your quarterback as a battering ram if his name's not Josh Allen and can't survive through a full season while taking a lot of hits and just damage overall? I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. Roma Dunze had a huge game for the Bears, 6 for 86 and a touchdown. Caleb Williams is good, man. He was very impressive, and the amount of hate he gets, I don't really think it is very warranted. Another good throw though, and I think they shouted this out in the coverage, but like he's getting thrown, GVR is getting thrown into his lap, and yeah, they spoke about it, but again, it's just Dart is just so insanely impressive. I hope the concussion isn't as bad as it seemed or looked when they let him back in the game, and then they said he didn't look like himself. But like, this is the thing with the concussion protocol and everything. Like, it's just so inconsistent, and he still gets off a good throw here with the guy in his face. And Bellinger is good defense, and a tough catch to make, and a tough throw to make between two guys. But if Jaxson Dart can get some weapons here, my God, because then you won't have to run. You won't have to do design quarterback runs, and you have wide receivers who can get open down the field. But today is lost. Let's make no doubt about it. 100% on coaching. And more importantly, the head coach. Like, where is the head coach going to step in and try to make better decisions, especially like at key points in the game? When they go for the field goal on like a 19-yard field goal on 4th and goal, like that's the thing that pisses me off so much is just Dable's consistency, like when he chooses to go for things versus not, or there's just no rhyme or reason or rationale behind any of it. Um, but hopefully we probably won't have to talk about him much longer because it's just insane. And I did want to highlight, something to that extent was from the beat reporter Ryan Dunleavy. I mean, Jaxson Dart is just so impressive. Um, the 2-8 Giants blew a double-digit lead on the road in a loss for the 4th time this season and tied the longest road losing streak, 11 in franchise history. Not that the Giants are any better at home in the Dable and Shane era, with overall records of 5-22 since the start of 2024 and 11-33-1 since the start of 2023. And now you got the other weekend at home. That was a bad one, but that got Gunner punched it out. The last weekend versus the 49ers, sea of red. Jaxson Dart says it's weird playing in a home game with so many away fans, right? You're not getting that at Ole Miss. You're not getting that, obviously, many games in SEC, nation. But in the NFL, when you suck, opposing teams, if they are good or they have national historical relevancy, they'll come out in droves, especially, in an appetizing place to go travel to see a game. MetLife Stadium, let's be honest, is one of probably the worst stadium in the NFL. So people aren't traveling to go to MetLife Stadium because the stadium's great. They're going because it's a New York experience or New Jersey experience or New York experience that happens to be New Jersey. Another design run. Great blocking here by Wandell at the point of attack. It doesn't have to be special. It's just putting a body on a body, and that gives Dart enough time to, just hit the burners a little bit further and get in for the touchdown. But not pretty. Hat on a hat, body on a body. Boom. Now I can't get there. Walks in untouched, touchdown. It's a good block. And that was how we wanted to start the second half, right? Go up 17-7. I mean, Caleb Williams is, let's be honest here. This guy gets such an unnecessary amount of hate. He is dead to rights multiple times on this. One, two, makes plays on 3rd and 4. I mean, I think he deserves more respect. He's making guys better, that's for sure. This guy Zacchaeus is a drop machine. Dell. 4th and 1. Yeah, and this is a game where the last few games he's trying to run over someone at the end. That one he just slides, and and this is the one where it just it had added up, and we've seen the body blow theory. We saw Neighbors in his first season knock himself out because he got hit so much. I think this is it. It's just crazy because this one, if the Giants go up 24-7, you have a really good chance to win. And you knew something was messed up here. And he's not going for the fumble. He's kind of in the fetal, just all messed up, not moving. I mean, that should have been a pretty good indication that let's look at him now instead of sending him out for another series. Dexter getting doubled on the inside. And here's the thing. I didn't think the Giants defense really played that bad for 3 quarters, but it's on the coach when you can't finish games in the NFL. If you watch NFL Red Zone, which everyone might be watching a lot more of coming up soon, because why do you want to watch Russell Wilson play if they actually name him the starter? But my point being, there's a thing called witching hour, and usually when there's witching hour for the Giants, when they have a lead, they're losing the game. It doesn't matter how big that lead is. And this is something we've grown accustomed to as Giants fans. The 60-yard field goals, the blown multiple score advantage. And it sucks. Yeah. I don't know how it changes, but getting rid of Dable will be a good start. And Bowen. I think Joe Shane sticks around. I don't know. I don't think he should. I just can't watch Russell Wilson play football anymore. I know that for sure. Great block by Theo. So Theo's in the flat. He could give up here. Jalen Hyatt certainly would. Great block downfield by Theo, too. 26 ends up, tracking him down. But I just think I've seen enough of Dable. I can't. Oh, God. I hope he's okay. And this guy hasn't had his, brain injuries are just so hard, too, because what happens if he misses the rest of the season with a concussion? Like, 3rd and goal. I don't know. And then you finally have a new kicker who's able to make some kicks. But Jesus, Jamie Gillen, he's got to be one of the worst punters in the NFL because he sets it up later in this game with a 25-yard punt or something. And then he also kicked 2. It was one out of bounds or both weren't in the landing zone. But, God, he is just so bad. But that's the guy that Joe Shane extended. There's just no way Jamie Gillen is an NFL caliber punter. I'm sorry, he's not. This is the thing with the Giants. Like, they hang on to guys that suck for way too long instead of moving on. Like, good teams, good franchises, they just cut bait if they don't think a guy's going to work. But the Giants, I don't think, it's not that they don't cut bait, or they did a good job of not more doubling down on guys to make them good, because you didn't see, Neal play. Brian Burns get killed there. but it's just, I don't know. Where's Shane Bowen? Where, like, just be aggressive, you know? There had to be a moment in this game where, like, we have to get Caleb Williams down no matter what. Like, blitz, do whatever. Like Caleb Williams put the team on his back during this game. Wide open. Dane Belton and Deontay Banks looking at each other like they're just giving up. I'm just There's just so many issues, but I still think this team has talent. Maybe that's just me being a stupid Giants fan. But Russell Wilson, I just can't watch him play anymore. I don't care. Like how at least Jameis gives you a chance. Maybe. Or maybe we don't even know. But like Wilson doesn't give you any chance to win. So if you choose to play Russell Wilson the rest of this season, he sucks. He just fucking sucks. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. And this is a guy that Joe Shane extended and gave more money to. I never want to see him again. 2-7. This is how this, even if Shane, or why do I always call him Shane Gillis? Jamie Gillen. Even if Jamie Gillen kicks an 80-yard punt and downs it at the 5, the Bears are still going down the field and scoring a touchdown. That's just how this works. We know that. It didn't matter where it went. But it's just a level of just ineptitude that is just kind of just in the core or whatever it is. It's like in the DNA right now since 2012. And here's the thing. I don't think we're going to see it. I don't know. Once we see it, then I'll believe it. But we have to see it first. Great block by Loveland or Cole Kmet. And then someone just took out Cole Kmet from behind just to be a dick. Who was that? Just being an asshole hitting Kmet for no reason. I mean, just absolutely pathetic. Fire everyone. Russell Wilson into the sun. Jamie Gillen later. I don't know. It's just ineptitude. It starts at the top, but they have to start cleaning house, and hopefully it starts sooner than later. Thank you guys for watching.